All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. We are back for another week of Just a Fan podcast. What's up? Um,
This league don't make no sense. Go ahead.
well, uh, Pando 316 already said it, so he introduced himself already. He said I don't think this league is making any sense anymore, and he right. But I tell him, hey Christian, thank you so very much. Um, but I tell him, I said, listen, it's still early in the season, so we'll stuff will correct itself out eventually for some teams, and we're gonna cover that. Y'all know me, Coach Williams, NFL Encyclopedia. What's up, Cleveland?
Clay.
Um, as you can see below my name, I said effort is needed because some teams are not giving effort. They're not,
Some
including my
co-
team.
some coaches ain't giving effort. Some GMs didn't give effort when they needed to.
My head
It's
coach ain't giving effort.
it's boy. Look here, man. Look here,
I'm frustrated.
boy. I'm trying to tell you,
I'm
man.
frustrated. Listen, ain't no way. I'm sorry. I'm already going to tangent real quick. Ain't no way in the world you got 3 out of 4 teams in the top 4 that are from the Shanahan tree that uses all this dang on motion, man. The only coach that's in top 4 in motion that's not Shanahan related is what's up, Eric? Um, is what's his name? Buffalo's offensive coordinator, Joe Brady. They use everybody's those top 4 teams are at least 80% or higher and using motion. You know how much motion Dallas has used so far this year? Probably about 20 times, maybe in 3 games. I don't get it. I don't get it. Make life easy for your quarterback. Dak is good. Dak can put up some numbers, but it can be a whole lot easier for him if you start using motion. But anyway, let's get into this topic, okay? What we get into tonight is we get into, as you can see, it says real or Mirage. Now that's for the teams who are winning, and we need to figure out we're going to tell y'all how we feel about it. If we feel like they're real or they just or it's a mirage. Now there's some teams who are losing, and we'll let you know if we feel like they can right the ship, or nah, you really are who you are. Okay. E, is there a team who you feel like is winning but is real?
They're winning and they're real, or they're winning but they're not real.
They winning and they are real.
Uh, yeah, I think honestly, and we talked about this before the season started with our division picks, and it's looking like they the real deal, and I think that's the Buffalo Bills. A lot of us didn't. As Tristan was the only person when we did our AFC East picks that picked the Bills to win the division, and right now, uh, they're not missing Gabe Davis. They're not missing Stephon Diggs. Keon Coleman is playing really well. Josh Allen is starting to make better decisions than what he's been making, which is shocking to me. And that defense is playing really well. It's playing much better than I thought they would be playing. And again, time will tell. It's just week 3. But right now they're looking like we all know Jacksonville is not that good. Okay, we know that. Okay, I don't think anybody is gonna. The only people that might fight with us on that is people who are Jacksonville fans. But um, the way they dog walked Jacksonville, I wouldn't holler Duval no more if I was a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. I'm just
I
saying.
agree. I
Uh,
agree.
I just don't part of it is part of it uh, is Jacksonville's not very good, but as well, um, Buffalo was just clicking on all cylinders that night. Now, is that an apparition? I don't know, but they look extremely strong. They look like a well-oiled machine. And again, bear in mind, this is a weaker opponent. We'll see. But in previous games, they've looked good. So Buffalo is a team that looks like they might be the real deal at this. Let me be clear, folks. At this point in the year, they don't be like, oh, they start sucking. Like you said, they was gonna be cold. Pando 316 did not say that. I said at this point in the year, I think they could, barring injuries, because right now there's a lot of teams with a slew of injuries. There's people dropping left and right. So we'll see. But Buffalo's one of those teams that look like they might be the real deal.
I agree with you. Ever since they switched up from Ken Dorsey as the offensive coordinator to Joe Brady's offensive coordinator,
Yeah.
they've
And,
gotten better.
and they're actually running the ball with Jay.
And Joe Brady is emphasizing running the ball.
Yeah, so you got more a balanced attack. Yeah.
Exactly, and not asking Josh Allen to play hero ball every single snap.
Yeah,
and
it's balanced.
Let me say this: I don't mind quarterbacks who can play hero ball, but don't have them play hero ball 60 to 65 times a game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's run the ball. Let's get the ball to the football to the playmakers in space and let them make plays. But when it comes down to this, when it comes down to it, then yeah, let them make the play. What's up, Titus?
Titus Ross. Go look at your go on Spotify and Apple Music. Titus, one of our regulars on the show, he's just cut a new album. Go check it out. Titus, put the name of the album up, please. I'm giving you a plug, man.
Yeah, hey, yeah. So what he said, Titus does have a new album out. He says it's on Spotify. I think it might be on Apple as well.
And YouTube Music.
Yeah. And YouTube Music. So check it out. But anyway, yeah, Buffalo definitely running the football, letting Josh Allen make plays when he needs to make plays, not do it every single snap. So it's really benefiting Buffalo on offense, and it also benefits the defense because when you run the ball more, the defense not on the field so much. So we'll see what Buffalo does in the future. But right now they look real. They look very, very real right now.
So who's your team that you think that is winning right now, and they look like what their record is?
Man, that's kind of hard to say right now. I guess. Well, we know who Kansas City is. Let me say this. Houston don't look like they lost a step, man. Okay, yeah. I know they lost to Minnesota, but I think Houston has not lost a step. Hey, y'all, this is an album right here by Titus, real quick. So on all major platforms, it's called Upward. So check it out, y'all. Okay. But what you call it? Houston, yeah. Man. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. When Joe Mixon down there running back,
yeah,
different. Yeah. That offense is on a different level now.
And I like to piggyback on what you're saying about Houston. It's like everybody's talking about, well, the Vikings they They beat Houston, They beat San Francisco, the Vikings. And it's kind of segue into my next thing, but the Vikings, a lot of people think the Vikings are good. I think the Vikings defense is great. I don't think they're as good as their record would indicate.
Brian Flores is a great defensive coordinator.
Right, but I don't think their record is as good as they would indicate. The Vikings have beaten the San Francisco 49ers without Christian McCaffrey. Okay, they've beaten the Houston Texans without Joe Mixon and Dameon Pierce. Okay, so we really don't know what the Vikings are right now. So that's my team that's like has a great record, but honestly, I'm not convinced. Yes, you are what your record says you are. Okay, but I need to see you beat a hello. I need to see you beat a quality opponent. Okay, beat a quality opponent that's healthy. Like, okay, yeah, we took down the Niners, we took down the Texans, okay, but like real talk, man, beat somebody that's healthy and at their absolute best. That's a contender. Then you get my respect. And they got a game coming up this week. I don't know if Jordan Love is gonna play, but Malik Willis has been playing exceptionally well.
Yes, he has.
Against the Packers, it's a divisional matchup. With divisional matchups, all bets are off.
That's right.
So that's still. But at the flip side, it's still still not a healthy team because it's not Jordan Love. Malik Willis has played well, but it's still not Jordan Love. So you got to look at that. I'm like, that's my team with a winning record. Who they got to prove? They got to show me some more before I can say, oh shoot, they really good. Sam Darnold's really good. No, I'm not convinced just yet. You're gonna have to show me a little bit more. Minnesota. What about you, Brandon?
Just real quick about Minnesota, man. Their offense is still led by Sam Darnold. I still need to see more from him. Winning team that's overrated, or might be a Mirage. Right now, Pittsburgh, good defense.
Yeah, again, championship level defense.
Yeah. But I don't know if I'm ready to believe in Justin Fields yet at quarterback.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I'm not sold yet. I'm
not sold yet. I need more time with that.
And in Minnesota and Pittsburgh. You could put it in the same Minnesota and Pittsburgh. You could put in that same category. Yep. Like, okay, championship level defense. 3-0 start. But there's question marks surrounding the quarterback.
Yes.
And like I said, Minnesota hadn't played anybody that's quality or that's healthy. They play beat up teams so far. I want to see them play somebody like totally healthy that's a quality opponent and then whoop them. Hey, Donnie V. But
what's up, Don?
But basically, I want to see that. And I want to see them dog walk somebody like that. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? Minnesota is the real. Then I'll say that.
Same thing with Pittsburgh, man.
And Pittsburgh, same thing. I need to see Justin Fields go out against like a really tough team, like a Baltimore, and play at that level against them, and then come back and be like, okay, yeah, we them dudes, or come back or go play Kansas City, you know what I'm saying, and play them tight. Because we all know Kansas City look like they finna go undefeated just because they have 12 people on the field at all times. One of them wears a striped shirt. So, anyway, I didn't want to go there, but you know how I get. I'm gonna speak my mind. But yeah. So let's talk about teams that do not have a good start. They might be 1-2 or 0-3 or whatever like that. That were basically preseason favorites. We have several teams that are like that.
Yes.
And we have the Niners, we have the Cowboys, we have the Ravens. I gotta look at my standings again. But
the Bengals are 0-3.
The Bengals are 0-3. Teams like that, out of those teams like that people pick to be doing better at this point. Two questions. These are two different teams. Who is a team that's in this low point that you feel like can right the ship and turn it around before or around midseason or before midseason and probably still get into the playoffs? And then part two is which one of these teams that are down right now is probably going to stay down because it just ain't looking good. And part one.
I think San Francisco going to bounce back at some point. They are what y'all 1-2?
1-2. I could choke Sorensen out, but we'll get more into that later.
So, like y'all missing some players, okay? Debo was out, and congratulations to Juwan Jennings on the game he had.
He played out of his mind.
George Kittle, I think, missed the game. I think
Yep.
Christian McCaffrey missed the game.
Yep.
You was able to get Bosa and Ward back. You got the safety back. But now Hufanga, and now I think Hargrave is injured.
Oh yeah, he's out for the year.
He's out for the year. Yeah, so that hurts. That hurts. Yeah, and here's the thing. This is what Titus said right here.
Let me
Niners will be fine after injuries heal up. I agree. They will be fine.
I partially agree with that, but thank you, Titus. But I'm gonna get into that later. I'm gonna let Brandon finish.
Ravens will turn around. Bengals are going to stay down, and the Bengals probably will. But 49ers, plus the offense. Now I know Eric always getting on Mike Shanahan, and I mean not Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan, and I don't blame him at all because San Francisco really should have more Super Bowls than what they have now in the last 6 years. But
Kyle Shanahan should have at least 3 rings. 1 as a coordinator and 2 as a head coach.
But yeah, the 49ers, man, they are. I've always said 49ers are the best team in the conference, even though Detroit is like right behind them now.
They're actually ahead of them. They got a better record.
Well, true. Yeah. But San Francisco, they come tied as not surprised. But San Francisco, man, I mean, they should be. They're gonna be fine. They just gotta get healthy. They're gonna have to find a way to keep that team afloat until those guys get healthy. And when they get healthy, they should be back to normal again.
Okay, so I kind of agree with that, but I'm like one of the biggest critics of my own team. So yes, the cavalry's coming. Right now we got to find out what's going on with Christian McCaffrey. He had to go to Europe to see a doctor in Germany to see about
I heard about that.
His Achilles. And lost Javon Hargrave for the year, torn triceps. That's a big issue. The Niners are going to have to trade for a defensive tackle. They are thin at D tackle, and the run defense is not great right now because of Sorensen. Steve Wilkes would not have allowed what happened in that Rams game. If they got up by that much on the Rams, Steve Wilkes be able to hold the Rams down with that type of personnel in the game. You have all pros at every level of the defense, and you mean to tell me that you let the Rams, the injury-depleted Rams team, come back and win that game? That is deplorable. I was calling for his head immediately. A lot of my fellow Niner fans was like, well, no, the defense, whenever you got a new defense coordinator, the defense is going to take a step back. I don't care. D'Amico Ryans, when he was new, would never allow nothing like that to happen. He had some bumps. Steve Wilkes had some bumps, but he was never that bad. This guy is bad. Like, you made 0 adjustments. I was calling for the defensive coordinator's head. I was calling for the special teams coordinator's head because that game was lost on special teams as well. So, yes, there are going to be reinforcements coming. Dre Greenlaw will be coming back soon. That'll help the defense some. Christian McCaffrey could get back. George Kittle may play this week. Debo will probably play in another 2 weeks. Not this week, but week 5.
Right.
Okay. And that's a good thing. But coaching. coaching. That's the issue. It's not so much
Exactly.
the personnel, it's coaching. That's why I say I partially agree with you because the personnel is going to get back good again, but coaching is what's holding the Niners back. Now, will they be good enough to beat some of the other teams that's still on their schedule with the personnel they had once everybody's healthy? Yes, I agree with that. I believe that. But there are going to be some games like last week, this past Sunday, that the Niners are going to lose because of dumb coaching. You got a running back. Christian McCaffrey's in Germany, but you got a running back in Jordan Mason that's basically on a bad day averaging 4 yards a carry. On a bad day, against an 8-man front, he averaging 4 yards a carry. But you start running the ball. Yes, Purdy was red hot. Purdy was red hot. Yes, Jawan Jennings was red hot. But hey, you got the lead. You got the lead. Run the ball and get out of there. You ought to be happy to get out of there with the win with all your players missing. Stop trying to pass that. The problem with Shanahan is he wants to win games a certain way instead of just winning the game. And I've said it 1,000 times. If I said it once, and I'm going to keep saying it. He's holding the team back because he wants to win games a certain way instead of just winning the game. And the crazy part about it is, well, we need to fire Shanahan. Who we gonna hire? Who we gonna hire that's gonna have us in conference championships every damn year? You know. So go ahead, problems versus Atlanta. McCoy, Taysom is out. Looks like Davis is out too. Yeah, we're gonna get to that in my picks. But yeah, the Niners are the team that could right the ship and get back right, provided nobody else gets hurt and provided Shanahan removes his cranium from his anus.
There you go.
And then also probably go ahead and let Staley go ahead and call the defense because Staley's a horrible head coach, but he's a good defensive coordinator. Horrible head coach, good defensive coordinator.
There you go.
So let him call the defense.
There you go.
So and then my other team that I feel like they could I got two of them. There's another team I feel like they could right the ship is the Ravens. I feel like the Ravens, they just need to, hey, you can run the ball really well. You should do that more often. And they learned to do that when they played Dallas this past week. Oh, that's how we win? Oh, okay, let's run the ball. You know, so Ravens, Niners, those are two teams I feel like they could right the ship. What about you, Brandon?
So now for the team who I feel like they just gonna be terrible no matter what. I'm not gonna harp on Carolina because it's
But
just
nobody picked Carolina to do much.
I know.
They playing above their heads right now, just winning that game.
Yeah, I know. But I'm gonna jump on Tennessee.
Okay.
0-3. You don't have the quarterback. Head coach Brian Callahan keeps saying Will Levis is the guy, Will Levis is the guy, Will Levis is the guy. He's not the guy. He wasn't the guy coming out of college. He's not the guy now. I think Tennessee should have gone through a full rebuild. I felt like they didn't. Tennessee's not a threat to anybody, not in their division, definitely not even in the conference. So they just they're gonna be irrelevant for a while. They are. I know Brian Callahan just got the job, but you you keep saying Will Levis to start, Will Levis to start. Eventually, you're gonna be gone. I'm not saying it's gonna be this year, but next year you could end up being on a hot seat, and it can be hotter than you think it is. So I got Tennessee. They're just gonna stay flat where they are.
Okay, so I'm not gonna get on you, but that's kind of low hanging fruit, bro. Like really, when we did our picks, most of us picked Tennessee to finish dead last in that division anyway. It's low hanging fruit, kind of like Carolina. It's like I think Tristan is the only one that didn't pick Tennessee dead last in that division, but he still has Tennessee third in that division.
Well, I mean, I guess I could have chose Cincinnati because Cincinnati just ouch, man. Like I did not expect their defense, especially with their defensive coordinators. I like the guy Lou. Last name started with A. But I did not think they was gonna give up 38 points, man,
to Washington.
to Washington.
Yeah. But
I'm not saying Jordan Daniels is a bum, but he's a rookie.
yeah, a rookie
And
quarterback did that to them.
they don't have too much on offense. I mean, Zach Ertz is old. Terry McLaurin's a good receiver. Jaden Daniels is the 11th quarterback to complete a pass to Terry McLaurin. Which is sad. I know they brought in Noah Brown, but Noah Brown can catch, but
He's solid.
right, he's solid. Exactly, that's what he is. So I'm like, man, y'all gave up 38 points to Washington's offense.
But also Washington's running the ball a lot better.
Yeah, which takes pressure. And hey, same thing I said about Josh Allen. It takes pressure off the quarterback.
Yeah. So when you have the threat of the run, that opens a lot of stuff up for the quarterback. But I don't completely agree with you on Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati has a chance to bounce back too. I just think the Ravens have a better chance than Cincinnati do in that division. And I think San Francisco does based on personnel and coaching. Because that they still have the best roster in the conference, you know. Now, talking about teams my team that I don't think if they can bounce back. I believe it's the Dallas Cowboys.
They better bounce back.
I don't think because okay. So here's why. And I was talking to Steve off the air about this, and everybody who watches us on a regular basis knows that Steve is a diehard Cowboy fan. So is Brandon, and we're realistic fans about our team. We don't do all that hooping and hollering and everything like that. We talk facts and everything like that. And we're very critical of our teams. And Steve said something to me that really brought something to my attention. And he said, San Francisco, he just used San Francisco as an example. He said, San Francisco getting people back. So they losing because they missing some folk. He's like, we relatively healthy besides Deron Bland, and we getting our ass kicked. And I was like, wow, you know what? Yeah, you're making a good point. And he's like, yeah, he said, there's no excuse for that. You know, he's like, we got everybody, just pretty much everybody. And we getting skull drugged. And, you know, and it's like, okay, CeeDee Lamb is phenomenal. Dak is going to do what Dak does. But it can't just be Dak and CeeDee Lamb on that offense. There's not a good semblance of a running game.
Not at all.
And unless they do something before the trade deadline, there won't be. And, you know, and Dallas has been infamous for not stopping the run with everybody in the game. And it's like, I ain't worried about what Lamar Jackson did with his arm. I'm looking at how they were able to run the ball at will with Derrick Henry and on some RPO stuff and some read option stuff with Lamar Jackson. And that's what gave Dallas that early exit last year was Aaron Jones coming back to Texas and losing his doggone mind running the ball. And I feel like every time that Jake Ferguson will be back next week, Brandon.
No, he played this past week.
He played this past. Well, okay, but didn't he get hurt in this game this week?
If he did, I must have missed the information. Let me see something. Let's see.
But while you looking that up, but yeah, it's you know, and like I said, the realistic Cowboy fans. I'm not talking about the people that's like we go in the Super Bowl every year. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the realistic Cowboy fans. They're looking like Jerry Jones said we all in, but there was not a lot done in the offseason to quantify that statement. It's like we're all in. What did you do in the offseason? Like, okay, you had a decent draft. Dallas draft well. I'll give them that. But you know, you had to pay Dak, you had to pay CD. I know there's some fans in Dallas that feel like they overpaid Dak. But after that, what else is there? And it's like with the rise of the Eagles and how well the Eagles are playing, you kind of look at like, okay, and look, I want to say this. Let me qualify how well the Eagles are playing in spite of Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, because Jalen Hurts he's turning the ball over.
In spite of. I want to be clear on that. That in spite of Jalen Hurts, the Eagles are playing really well. And you got to deal with that. And then you don't know what's going to happen with Jaden Daniels in Washington. Because guess what? Washington know how to run the ball. Washington can run the ball. Now, this week coming up, and I'm kind of tipping my hand on talking about my picks, but they play the Giants. It don't matter where they play the Giants at. They can play the Giants on the moon. Okay? If they lose this game to the Giants, they got to cancel the season.
No, Jake Ferguson's fine.
Okay, he's ready to go. Okay. The Giants, I'm sorry, that was last week, I'm sorry, that was an apparition. I just don't believe in the Giants like that. If Dallas loses this game to the Giants in week 4,
McCarthy needs to be gone.
McCarthy needs to be loaded into one of the old space shuttles and fired into the sun. Okay, this is a get right game for Dallas. Like I said, I'm getting off into my picks a little too early because I did we cover everything? Because we can go into picks.
We haven't covered the top 5.
We ain't gonna cover the top 5, but yeah, everybody knows Dallas is playing the Giants Thursday night. Y'all, if they can't win this game, just cancel the season. Fire Mike McCarthy, get an interim head coach, and just cut your losses and get ready for next season. And I want to be clear. I'm not hating on Dallas. I'm being as realistic as I can.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
People accuse me of being a hater, and I'm like, no, I'm looking at it from an analyst standpoint. It's like, bruh. And I feel the same way about my team. They play the Patriots this week in Levi. They don't beat the Patriots. They can go ahead and cancel the season too. You can't beat the Patriots. Something wrong, brother. You ain't ready to go up against the rest of the NFC. The Falcons have got better. The Saints have gotten better. The Eagles have gotten better. Green Bay is still Green Bay. Lions are still the Lions. You're not finna contend for a Super Bowl. I'm looking at you, Dallas. I'm looking at you, San Francisco. So yeah.
No, that's real. That's real.
Yeah. So I mean, it's put up a shut up time for San Francisco and Dallas this week. They have got to win these gimme games, these get right games. They don't pull a win out in these games. It's just go ahead and cancel the season, get ready for next season. Yeah. So, but I know you're like, well, but they'd only be like 1-3. You could come back and but it's
you not difficult to come back from 1-3. Like no,
it's an uphill battle. It's an uphill battle. Dallas goes 1-3. No. With an improving NFC East. San Francisco goes 1-3 with an improving NFC West. Because, I mean, the Rams went out there and won that game without Puka Nacua, without Cooper Kupp. And 3 of their linemen, they won that game without them. 3 of their starting linemen.
Yep.
So, I mean, what you going to do when they all start and then they come to Levi later on in the year? Smarter than the 5th grader. Kyler Murray. He's starting to play better football. He's starting to make some smart decisions now. So he's getting better. That's an improving, the Seahawks are 3-0. That's what we forgot to talk about. I don't believe that they that good either.
I don't believe in them either.
I don't believe they didn't play the Denver and who else? No, man. You're not gonna convince me that Seattle's good until they start seeing some dogs.
And I still don't believe in them either because their quarterback situation. Geno Smith, nah.
I don't trust Geno Smith.
Not long term.
No, sir, no, ma'am. Now, so they beat the Patriots. They beat the Dolphins with playing with their second string quarterbacks, and they beat the Broncos. They haven't beaten anybody yet, so I don't believe in them yet. They got to show me something.
Exactly.
Bring your tail to Levi against a healthy Niners squad and beat us in Levi. Then we'll talk. But the Niners own the Seahawks. The Rams almost own them.
All right. So let's go in and get our top 5 picks of the week.
All right, you can go first, man. What's your number 5 team? Because there's been some shuffling. I can tell you on my end, it has been.
I got Green Bay.
Okay.
And the reason being is because if you went in with a second string quarterback, what's going to happen when Jordan Love get back?
And it's looking like there's a chance, small one, that he might play this week.
Exactly. And you know the thing with Green Bay, man, like they keeping it close with Detroit. And so that means Detroit has very room for error. Very little room for losing games.
These NFC North games, divisional games are going to be really interesting coming up. They're going to
And
be
and,
extremely.
and it looks like Malik Willis can be flipped for a draft pick. I don't know if it's gonna happen before the trade deadline, but it could possibly happen before during the offseason.
It's funny you should bring that up because my sources have told me that Miami is not even looking to trade for a quarterback. And I'm like, why? Like, why not? Like, what is wrong with you? It's like, it don't look like, yes, Tua is not concluded. Concussion protocol. Skylar Thompson got a rib injury. What are you doing?
Tanking.
Why would you tank? You spend all that money and you tanking? Really?
Tanking. You're right. They did spend a lot of money, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Spend money on Tua, Waddle, Beckham, Hill,
yes,
Ramsey.
Yes. Who's washed?
Yeah. Spent all that money and you tanking.
No, man.
Is that what y'all really about to do right now? Is tank?
If I'm Mike McDaniel, I'm gonna trade. I'm gonna throw out a feeler for a trade for someone like a Josh Dobbs, or call the Steelers about Russell Wilson.
There you go.
And offer and flip a draft pick for him. And there you go.
There you go.
Because I would, if I was the Niners, I'd give them Josh Dobbs and give us back Raheem Mostert or either a defensive tackle. Straight up. We need D tackles. You got some. Y'all need a quarterback. We got some.
There you go.
Yeah. So that's but I don't understand what Miami's doing right now because that's a winnable division, but you're not going to beat the Bills playing them again. Yeah, Sam. Okay, so here's the thing with that. Sam is a Packers fan. They said he doesn't want to put Love in because they got momentum with Willis. If Love is healthy and there's no chance of re-injury, he's going back out there. You got to remember, Jordan Love just got paid. You don't put all that money on the bench if it's healthy. He going to go back out there. Unless there's a chance of re-injury. Now, if there's still a chance of re-injury, no, Willis is fine. They don't have to rush Jordan Love back. But if Jordan Love's ready, Jordan Love you gonna get out there and earn that money, boy. Get out there. So yeah. But the Packers are still the Packers.
Oh yeah.
Especially with the addition of Josh Jacobs, they have lost no momentum. Josh Jacobs can do everything that Aaron Jones did. And there's no reflection on Aaron Jones. It's just that Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones are the same type of back. They are the exact same type of back. They lost no continuity. In Green Bay. Green Bay is still Green Bay. And
there you go.
They stay solid as all get out. So
there you go.
So all right. So top 5. You had Green Bay.
Yep.
My top 5. My number 5 team is the Houston Texans. They dropped.
Okay.
They dropped a little bit with that loss to Minnesota, but again, they weren't healthy. I still like them. Steve chose the Chargers as his number 5 team. They took a loss to Chargers lost to the Steelers. And there's gonna be some bumps in the road in the Harbaugh rebuild, but I agree. I kind of like his choice right there. Tristan chose the Ravens as his number 5 team. Um, that's interesting. After a big win in Dallas, you went on the road. You came up with a big win. I don't like how they was about to let Dallas back into the game. That defense is questionable because that defense was better than that last year in Baltimore. Like last year's Baltimore defense, if they don't win up 28 something, that's what it's gonna stay. That's a defense that could play from behind and with a lead last year. This year's defense kind of got me, raising an eyebrow a little bit. But he has him for his number 5. What's your number 4, Brandon?
Number 4. I'm gonna roll with Houston.
Okay, so your number 4 is the Houston Texans. That's a little bit higher
Um,
than me.
huh?
So that's a little bit higher than me. I had them number 5.
Here's the reason. They are going to bounce back. They're gonna be fine. Um, that defense is still good under D'Amico. Stroud is still the quarterback. Maybe some teams might have watched enough film on them and probably figure out how to at least maybe slow them down. But it's gonna Houston's gonna end up winning that division with no problems. And we'll see what they do in the playoffs, man. We will see what they do in the playoffs. But that roster is loaded, and I mean loaded. They coming for Kansas City, man. They are clearly coming for Kansas City. Your 4th?
Number 4, I have the Vikings, and that's very tentative. Very, very tentative. They have one of the best records in the NFC, and they deserve to be there because they 3-0 undefeated. But I defer back to what I said earlier in the show, and they gotta show me something. They gotta whoop somebody that's healthy. They ain't coming in there limping. They gotta whoop somebody on the road. They gotta whoop somebody that's credible that ain't hurt. Cause we beat Houston, we beat San Fran. Those are playoff teams. Okay, but both those teams were banged up. I want to see them beat somebody on the road that's good, and then I'll give that respect. Then that's when I'll be like, okay, you know what? Yeah, y'all it. Sam Darnold then made a complete 180. So yeah, I have the Vikings. Steve has the Niners. I think he's being generous. And he's not here to defend his answer. I don't know what that's about, but I think he's being generous right at this point. Can they get back into the top 5? Yeah, sure. But right now, after last week, no. Tristan also has the Vikings. I think he probably has the same philosophy I have. I think his mindset is kind of like, show me, right now you 3-0, so I can't knock that. I can't knock the fact that you 3-0. That's what it is. It's kind of don't matter who you play, you 3-0, and we have to respect that. And you're probably saying, "Well, Eric, why you?" I don't know what that was. That was a paragraph. We had to put that up later. But excuse me. You're probably saying, well, why don't I have the Seahawks? Well, yes, Houston was hurt. Yes, San Francisco was hurt, but they were still quality teams. They're still playoff teams that they beat. Seattle's not beating one of those teams.
Exactly.
So that's why Seattle's not on there. You're probably like, well, okay, yeah. But again, I don't think I'm having any problem with Seattle fans because what's a Seattle fan? Anyway, we're at number 3. Brandon, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Detroit Lions.
All right.
Detroit Lions, I still
go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead, the Motor City Cats.
Ford Field, Pontiac Silverdome, Pontiacs and Fords. All right. I still feel like they're the second. I mean, I know you said they're ahead of y'all, but really until they beat y'all, they really the second best team in that conference.
Okay.
They are the second best team in the conference. Detroit definitely has some competition from Green Bay, so they cannot afford to lose too many games. And because Green Bay's gonna stay on them, and Malik Willis has proven that. So, um, Detroit, they got the guys, man. Golf is a good quarterback. Good running back duel. I think it's still Gibbs and I don't think it's not Williams because I think Williams went to New Orleans, but somebody else. But
Montgomery.
who?
Montgomery.
Yeah, Montgomery. Okay, there you go, running back. And then you have the offensive line with Frank Ragnow center. Um, what's my man's name at right tackle?
Penei Sewell.
Thank you, Panay Sewell. That defense, Aiden Hutchinson is a beast, man. I think he's leading the league in sacks right now. So yeah, man, Detroit, I got them number 4. I mean number 2. No, wait, what did I say? 3?
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, my bad, 3. There you go.
Yeah, I'm not quite ready to put them there yet, but I still have a lot of respect for that franchise.
Okay.
My number 3 is the Eagles. As much as Eagles fans get on my nerves, right now they're the class of that division. And until proven otherwise, which now they did falter against the Falcons, which the Falcons got some credibility after beating the Eagles, but I still think that they're one of the better teams in the conference until proven otherwise. I'm trying to think in a new frame of mind instead of thinking about last year. So the Eagles is my number 3. Steve has the Saints as his number 3, which is shocking. I cannot explain why they would be number 3. I think there's some, we got a lot of Saints fans who watch this show, and I don't even think they will put the Saints as their number 3 team this week, excuse me. After, kind of fumbling through that loss this week. Tristan also has the Eagles. He has the Eagles for his number 3 team. So we can move on. Number 2. You muted, Brandon.
My bad. Dos. I really didn't want to do this. But I'm gonna have to. Gotta give them credit, gotta give them respect, but the Buffalo Bills,
Okay.
those guys are playing football the way it should be played. They can run the ball, not have Josh Allen sit there try to be Superman for 60 to 65 plays. Buffalo, man, that's I'm telling you, having a smart offensive coordinator and a good quarterback, man, that's great, man. That's great, man. That can really help your team out almost every year. Go ahead.
All right. So my number 2 also is the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
I just like the balance. I really like the balance in what they're doing. It's not run heavy. It's not pass heavy. It's like you don't know what. They a box of chocolates on offense. And I think actually the Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, and them going somewhere else has actually forced them to be more balanced, which in turn has made them more deadly. And I really like what they're doing. Steve has the Bills for number 2 as well.
Okay.
And Tristan, watch this, has the Kansas City Chiefs for number 2.
Whoa.
I think I know why, but he would have to answer that. He's not available tonight to be on the show, but that's what he has. And I'm just like, okay, wow. So, yeah, three of us have the Bills as our number 2 team in the league right now, and Tristan thinks the Chiefs are number 2 in the league.
Well, who does he have a number 1 then?
The Bills.
Wow.
And I think all of us have the Chiefs as number 1.
Yes.
So, except for Tristan. Now, here's my rationale about the Chiefs. I was like, okay, when they're in Kansas City, they're gonna get the zebra love. They're gonna get the zebra cakes, And
zebra cakes.
Zebra. They gonna get them zebra cakes because because they be winning some they be winning some games controversially. But they went down to Atlanta this week in Atlanta, and the zebra cakes came with them. Because how do you call pass interference on the Bengals the previous week, which wasn't as egregious as the pass interference face guarding that happened in the end zone in the Atlanta Falcons game? And it's like, wow. And it's getting to be, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, because a lot of people, the Chiefs are cheating, they doing it. Oh man, they got the refs on their side, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And even people who didn't have a dog in the fight during the Super Bowl, it's like, man, the Chiefs was holding San Francisco the whole game. And I was like, nah, man, we just lost that game, dog. I'm not going to say that. Even I was like, not like that. And now I'm really starting to feel that way, man. When you watch a Chiefs game, you see them get calls or get no calls that should be called. You got linemen hugging like they hadn't seen each other in years, and it's Christmas. And they hugging defensive linemen, and it's not getting called. And it's like, I don't want to say things are rigged, but God, dog, like, you got to be kidding me. So, as of right now, the Chiefs are undefeated because of the Zebras. And until further notice, they're gonna be the number one team because you can't beat 22 guys and how many officials on the field at a time?
7.
Right. You can't you going out there with 22. They going out there with 29. You can't beat that. You can't cover all of that. You can't cover all of it. So you can't tackle all of that. You can't, yeah. So that's my thing. So I have Chiefs as my number one team for that reason, but it is with an asterisk. So like the Vikings is an asterisk and the Chiefs are asterisk. So let's get to the picks, man. We get on out of here. We got about 8 more minutes of show left. I'm gonna go through these pretty fast. Pando's picks. All right. First game up. Cowboys at the Giants on Thursday night. This is my stone cold lock of the week. Okay. Because again, all right, thank you for that. I wish you to put that up when I got to the Houston game though. But that's my stone cold lock of the week. I got the Cowboys over the Giants.
You sure you want to make that your stone cold lock?
Yes, I do, because I have nothing left to lose, because there are 2 teams that I will never pick for a stone cold lock again this year because they let me down. I have never been wrong with my stone cold locks since I've been on this show. And in 2 weeks, 2 teams have let me down. The Bengals let me down by losing to the Patriots, and the Raiders let me down by losing to the doggone Carolina Panthers. You guys suck. I will never pick you as a stone cold lock again. I don't care if you're playing the doggone Pee Wee League team from around the corner from my house that practices at the park. I don't care if you're playing them. I will never pick you as a stone cold lock. Cincinnati and Raiders, you suck. Okay? But I do, as again, looking at it from a completely objective standpoint, I do have faith that the Cowboys are going to right the ship and beat the Giants. I do. Okay, I do. I really feel like that. And again, I'm going to be clear. If the Cowboys are not able to win this game, like, fire everybody. Load them up into a rocket ship. Y'all remember on that Transformers movie when they tricked the Autobots to try to leave Earth and they put them in that shuttle and then they blew the shuttle up? That's what they need to do. So, but that's I got the Cowboys stone cold lock of the week over the Giants.
Okay.
All right, next game. Bengals over Panthers. This would have been a stone cold lock, but the Bengals, you suck.
0-3.
Okay. Right now. You can't pull pee out of boot. I just no. But you should right the ship and get your first win against the Carolina Panthers, the Sam Darnold led Panthers. But no,
Andy Dalton,
excuse me.
And he's back, and he's playing against his former
He's
team.
playing against his former team. It's gonna be an interesting game because hey man, same thing, Bengals. This is get right week for a lot of teams.
Where's that game at?
It's in Carolina.
Okay.
If let me tell you something, Cincinnati. If y'all don't beat the Panthers, y'all need to cancel the season.
Yeah.
Go and cancel the season because
Mhm.
you will have lost to the Patriots and the Panthers. Those are two teams that we said was going to be picking in the top 5 this year, and probably still will. Okay, so next game. This is a pick'em game. Saints at Falcons. Okay, this could go either way.
It really can.
It's a pick'em game. This could go either way. The Falcons. I can't believe I'm saying this. The Falcons look good. I really can't believe I'm saying that. They look good under Raheem Morris. And the Saints, I think they're better than they were last year. But I'm gonna go with the Falcons, gun to my head, because they're at home. And I feel like they're gonna split this series. I think the Falcons later on in the year, the Falcons are gonna go to New Orleans, provided both teams are healthy, and lose to New Orleans in New Orleans. But yeah, I got the Falcons. Next game. This was almost my stone cold lock, but because of what Donald put up, go ahead and put up what Donald put up because I already knew this. Go ahead and put that up. Tank Dell is out this week with bruised ribs. Mixon still has in practice. Pierce is back at running back. So I still like the Texans to win at home against the Jags. Nico Collins has been playing out of his mind. There's nobody on the Jags that can cover Nico Collins, let alone Stephon Diggs. Okay. So, and I think CJ Stroud is going to make a bounce back. I think Houston's defense is going to give Sunshine fits in that pocket. So I like the Texans going away on Jacksonville. Jacksonville's, yeah.
So you tell me that Pierce is back?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I should
and Cam Akers is still running the ball too.
Who?
Cam Akers.
Yeah.
This will be a stone cold lock if all their players are playing.
Gotcha.
If everybody for Houston was healthy, this would be a stone cold lock. It wouldn't be, but I still like Houston to win this game. It's not a stone cold lock because of the injuries, but they're coached well.
Yeah, they are.
Give me the Jets over the Broncos.
Yes.
I think that was an illusion. The Broncos winning. I think Aaron Rodgers is starting to get. He looked really good in that game last week. He looks like old Aaron Rodgers. He's had his mobility back, his accuracy was back, and then the Jets defense is really playing well. So,
and to piggyback off that defense, I just think Bo Nix is going to struggle against that defense.
Yes, I think Bo Nix is going to have trouble against that defense. That's going to be the next thing I see. So I got the Jets over the Broncos. Watch this. Give me the Packers over the Vikings.
Not mad at you.
They're in Green Bay.
Malik Willis is hot too.
Malik Willis is hot. They're in Green Bay. The Packers are still the Packers, like I said earlier. But that doggone Brian Flores defense, the Vikings can still win this game. That defense is the anti-Shanahan offense defense. Every team that has run that offense, Brian Flores has a remedy for it.
Brian Flores, baby.
He is an outstanding defensive coordinator.
No, he really is. He really is.
I still like the Packers to win by like maybe a field goal, one score game.
Minnesota. Yeah, Flores. He should get another head coaching job somewhere else at some point.
Yeah, he will. He will. He might wind up at Dallas next year.
Hey, I wouldn't be mad at that at all.
Yeah. So Steelers at Colts. I like the Steelers to go 4-0 against the Colts because Anthony Richardson, yes, he's physically talented, but against that defense.
Here's my problem with Anthony Richardson. He's a physical quarterback, not a mental quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind watching highlights, and I love watching highlights. Okay, even with quarterbacks. But at the end of the day, when you are a physical quarterback, until you get the mental game down, you're just not going to be long term because your body's going to keep getting hit, and it's going to break down. That's not the way to go, man. Yeah, I know you can throw the football 70 yards off your back foot and you fading away and you put the ball on the rope. Cool, congratulations. But man, you can't even make any checks at the line of scrimmage. You can't even change your wide receiver's route based on the coverage you see. So why am I getting excited? You know how many times I've seen a quarterback throw the football 70 yards down the field?
That doesn't excite me. Can you throw
Right.
it 70 yards down the field on a dime?
Yeah, okay.
Can you drop the ball in the bucket? Like for example, Jaden Daniels, that pass, it wasn't a touchdown because he slid down and fell, but he made that catch. It was a dime to Terry McLaurin. I was so impressed with that throw. And if I'm not mistaken, he had a defender in his face when he threw it. Those type of throws are like, okay, this guy's the real. But yeah, I don't like Anthony Rich against that Steelers defense, and I like Justin Fields to do just enough, plus that running game to do just enough.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the Steelers over the Colts. Give me the Bears over the Rams because the Bears are going to probably be smart. Well, you know what? I don't know if Antoine Wood is watching. He's our Bears fan, resident Bears fan.
This is gonna be interesting.
If the Bears do what they're supposed to do and run the ball, I don't care if you see an 8-man front. The Rams cannot stop the run that well, not consistently. Especially with them being banged up, especially with there no longer being an Aaron Donald there, especially with them no longer being a Bobby Wagner there. If the Bears can actually just stop trying to make Caleb Williams be Superman because he's not ready to be Superman yet, and run the ball against the Rams, the Bears can come away with a win. You're at home. You're at Soldier Field.
Let me ask
You
you a
should
question.
win this game. Yeah.
Who's the Rams nose tackle? Because
I forgot. I don't remember. It's somebody who hadn't made his bones yet in the league.
here's my thing. They drafted 2 defensive tackles back-to-back years who to me look like 3 techs. Okay? And I said when we broke down the NFC West, it is hard to stop the run when you have 2, 3 techs look like they're gonna start. Okay?
Well,
Because I'm looking at hold on, sorry. I'm looking at they got Neville Gallimore from who used to be with us, but they moved hold on, Brandon Fisk. Oh, what kind of defense are they running? Is that a 3-4 team?
no, they ran a 4-3 on us.
Huh?
They ran a 4-3 on us.
No, because I see Kobe Turner, they got him. Well, this is Wikipedia, but they got him listed as a defensive end. Yeah, okay.
You know, the
Anyway,
defense is a little bit different, but yeah. But no, I like the Bears to beat the Rams, provided that they run the ball. If they go out there and try to make Caleb Williams be Superman, they probably gonna lose that game.
you want to
Give me the Eagles over the Bucks. I think the Eagles are gonna go down to Tampa, provided there's not a hurricane that weekend. Because there's a Category 4 headed toward Florida. People
yeah,
watch
man.
themselves, but I'm not gonna tell people in Florida watch themselves. They like hurricanes, so that's the Florida mentality. I'm serious. That's their mentality.
So you're right. You're right. Man. I'm like, yo, you're supposed to evacuate.
Evacuate what? That's how they gonna be. So I'm not gonna tell them nothing. But provided there is a game or that game is not moved somewhere, I like the Eagles.
I'm surprised. No, I'm surprised the NFL hasn't said anything or
Right.
even mentioned it.
Right?
Have you even mentioned it?
No, they too busy paying off the referees to help the Chiefs win. But I like the Eagles beating the Bucks in this game. Baker Mayfield came down to earth and was Baker Mayfielding last week against the Lions. But yeah, give me the Eagles in that one. Here's another get right game coming up. The Patriots at the 49ers. This is another get right game. Niners, if you lose this game to the Patriots, just go ahead and cancel your plans for January and February. Okay, that I don't know if they can mentally come back from something like a three in a row, losing three in a row. And again, last year they won. You gonna say, well, they lost three in a row last year. They lost those games to quality teams. This will be like a complete death nail to the psyche of this team if they lost to
Mm-hmm.
the Patriots. Because, and granted, the Patriots do have a good defense, but they should be able to jump all over. Jacoby Brissett is running for his life. Nick Bosa should have a field day. Leonard Floyd should have a field day. If they cannot win this game, the rest of the season is pointless.
Yeah,
Okay?
Leonard Floyd should have always been a number 2 defensive end. He should have
Yeah.
never been the primary guy.
And that's fine with him, but I mean, like the offensive line is not good in New England. So
No, it's not at all.
The defense should be able to win this game for them, a low scoring game. But again, Brock Purdy played. It's crazy because nobody's talking about it because they didn't win the game, but Brock Purdy played lights out against the Rams. Like, there's a fun stat. If you take away the drops, the ball only hit the ground twice.
That's
He had
crazy.
7 drops in that game.
That's
That
crazy.
means he hit the receiver in the hands and they dropped it.
Mhm.
Everything else was a completion except 2 passes. And Jawan Jennings lost his damn mind. 11 catches, 175. So Brock Purdy's playing really well, and nobody's giving recognition because they're not winning. But not to mention he had I think close to 50 yards rushing. It's like, but you let Cam Newton tell it. He's a game manager. He can't do nothing else but run the play the way it's designed, even though most of his big plays are off schedule. But shut up, Cam Newton. Commanders versus the Cardinals. I like the Cardinals in this one. Cardinals are at home. They're tough at home. But I think the Commanders gonna fight. The Commanders look a lot better. I just don't trust the Commanders defense.
Let me ask you a question. Are the Cardinals going to be a team this year that when they play certain teams, they might mess up their playoff seeding?
Well, what do you mean?
Like, let's say the Cardinals play the Chargers at some point during the season, okay? Just an example. And the Chargers are competing for the 5th or 6th seed. The Cardinals beat the Chargers and mess up their playoff seeding. Could the Cardinals be that kind of team this year?
Oh, spoiler?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they're good enough to make the playoffs. But
No. I'm not calling them
I think
playoffs.
they're good enough. I think they're good enough to spoil
Somebody.
Right.
And it might be 1 or 2 teams they might spoil.
To win some games they're not supposed to win. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. But I like them beating the Commanders. Give me the Chiefs over the Chargers just because of the Zebras.
I tell you what, I wish I could watch that game because I want to see how the Chiefs handle the Chargers' physicality.
They gonna hold.
They're gonna hold, yes, but
they're gonna hold. They're gonna hold. And then the referee's gonna throw flags when somebody get hit too hard. Somebody get hit too hard, they gonna throw flags. Derwin James is not playing.
Yeah, I see that too.
Because he Chauncey Gardner. Yeah, CJ Johnson got to shut up. That's a whole nother topic. But yeah, I like the Chiefs over the Chargers. I like the Raiders over the Browns.
Browns.
Even though I will never pick the Raiders again for a Stone Cold lot. That's one of them who's it, what's it games.
I tell you what, I don't blame you. Here's my reason. The Browns has another injury on the offensive line. I think it's a guard.
Yeah, and they are, and then the both tackles are already a hot mess. So
Yeah, and Deshaun Watson, yeah, it's bad.
yeah, I like the Raiders over the Browns. Max Crosby's gonna eat.
And Christian Wilkins.
Yeah, Christian Wilkins too. I forgot he's there. But and I got him on my fantasy team. Give me the Bills over the Ravens. Now, here's the thing. I like the Bills to go into Baltimore and win this game.
Yes.
However, if the Ravens are able to win this game, they gonna get back to relevancy. Because
Yes.
they will have beaten a really strong team and commanded some respect. This is a credibility game for the Ravens. But I still like the Bills to go in and beat them. But stranger things have happened. The Raiders can right the Ravens can right the ship and they might be okay. Give me the Titans over the Dolphins only because they don't know who the quarterback gonna be.
Exactly.
It's Wednesday and they still ain't decided who gonna start a quarterback on Sunday.
Mm.
They don't know if they're gonna go with Skylar Thompson or the third guy. And I'm just like, okay, y'all gonna lose this game playing around like that. I think they playing coy like that. They're not gonna announce who the starter is till Sunday, so there's no film for the Titans, but I still think the Titans gonna probably win this game. Give me the Lions over the Seahawks because the Seahawks actually have to play a credible opponent for the first time this season. And they got to see the music, the Motor City Cats in the Motor City.
Oh no.
Exactly. They gotta go to Detroit and
Yeah,
play.
Detroit about to win this game.
Detroit is gonna probably win this game. Geno Smith is gonna have probably a couple of those oh my God throws when Aiden Hutchinson comes around that corner.
Yes.
Yeah. He got him oh my God throws. Remember when he was mic'd up, he's like, oh my God. He hurried up and got rid of the ball. Because I forgot who he was playing, but somebody came and rushed in on him. He freaked him out. So I think, So to recap, give me the Cowboys over the Giants, Stone Cold Lock of the Week, Bengals over Panthers, Falcons over Saints, Texans over Jags, Jets over Broncos, Packers over Vikings, Steelers over Colts, Bears over Rams, Eagles over Bucks, Niners over Patriots, Cardinals over Commanders, Chiefs over Chargers, Raiders over Browns, Bills over Ravens, Titans over Dolphins, and Lions over Seahawks. The doors of the church are now open. And those picks. Go ahead, man.
All right. So that's another week of Just a Fan Podcast. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Okay. We are you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and IG. You can also listen to us on Apple and Spotify podcasts. That direction, panel 316, who says nothing makes sense in this league anymore. Good guy with the black hat. Coach Williams, effort is needed. NFL Encyclopedia. Good night, y'all.